Let's shoot. It's Sunday. Shooting Sunday with that guy, Danni Deeds. So the gender neutral movement was attemptedly halted by VIPW a few weeks ago. I lost the belt to Bambi Hall, the VIPW Gender Neutral Championship. They, of course, renamed it the women's title again. And she went on to fight Sloan for it. I took a bit of an exception to that. And in the end, I did some real horrible things to Sloan. I've been suspended by VIPW. I can't go back there for at least 120 days minimal. And I don't know when my rematch will be. But the belt isn't the situation. The goal was wrestling equality and gender neutrality. I don't have a problem with anybody in any competition. Some companies like to book women versus women or men versus men, and it's very seldom they get into intergender competition. However, on the indie scene, it's been more prominent lately to have intergender competition, and I'm all for that, but the men's belts aren't so-and-so company belts with men's titles on them. However, they still have women wrestling for those belts, and the idea behind the gender neutral title, the idea behind this whole gender equality thing was the fact that if you are a man or a woman in a wrestling ring and you are fighting for a championship, that belt should not be limited because of your gender. If women are fighting for what are stereotypically known as men's belts, then why can't men fight for women's belts? If I'm fighting a woman who's bigger than me or stronger than me in some capacity, maybe not smarter than me because I'm that guy and I'm the smartest of the bunch, but shouldn't that be about equality? Who is the better person and competitor in that ring deserves to be a champion, not because they're a man or a woman. So BC, they learned. I took the gender neutral belt all over British Columbia to a variety of new cities, and regardless of this situation with VIPW right now, the gender neutrality and wrestling equality movement lives on. It carries on. And so I did what any active and aggressive participant would do on the wrestling scene, is I said, I want to bring this movement eastward. Alberta, you're up first. So I poke around and I see who should I compete against. And then, of course, media gets the ball rolling, and there's a little banter back and forth. And what we came to was Angelica, the real Canadian wrestling women's champion, said yes to fighting me in my Conquer Canada challenge. And I was all game for it because I believe even Alberta deserves and wants gender equality. Of course they do. All those cowboys out there, they must love it. So I laid out the challenge, contacted the promoter. The ink hadn't even dried on my contract to come out to Calgary to fight for the RCW women's title. None of you knew that, but it's Shoot Sunday, and now you do. And lo and behold, last week I see that Angelica, the RCW women's champion, is fighting in a different promotion, which as an athlete I encourage everybody to do, and good on her for getting experience and working the scene in the Alberta territory. But what that meant is that Danni Deeds' contract to fight for the RCW women's title against Angelica wasn't going to happen. Now, do we know if Angelica knew ahead of time and just turned tail and ran? You know, she was in Lumbee just this past Saturday wrestling for Thrash Wrestling, a company I wrestle for as well. And do you think that they would set up Angelica versus Danni Deeds? No, Angelica dodges me again. And what does she do? She becomes the first ever woman to ever hold the RCW Women's Championship and the Okanagan Interior Championship at the same time. And again, good on you, Angelica. But I think what you're really doing is avoiding Danni Deeds. So until you can person up and agree to fight me, I will not return to Alberta. So Calgary and Edmonton, you can cry some tears. Danni Deeds will not be coming your way this June. And you can bark at the promoters, you can bark at your RCW women's champion, but until you person up and face Danni Deeds to be the best person, the most gender-neutral competitor in Western Canada, then I ain't going nowhere. Why? Because I'm that guy.